If you're preparing for the updated 2026 TOEFL test, there's one task in the reading section that will feel the most familiar. But don't let that fool you into thinking nothing has changed. Even if you've prepped for the TOEFL exam before, the way you approach this task needs to be updated. Hi, my name's Olivia, and I'm a TOEFL test prep expert here at Study.com. Study.com is the official TOEFL test prep partner, meaning our practice materials are developed in collaboration with the makers of the test. So what you practice with us is what you'll see on exam day. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how the new Read an Academic Passage task works, walk through practice questions together, and cover the strategies you need to read efficiently and answer confidently under the new format. Before we jump into examples, let's quickly set the scene so you know exactly what you're dealing with. The task Read an Academic Passage will be familiar if you've studied for the old TOEFL exam format before. However, the updated 2026 TOEFL test has shorter passages, about 200 words. Each passage comes with 5 questions that test your reading comprehension, vocabulary, and inference skills. Depending on the question, you might be finding a specific detail, working out a word's meaning from context, identifying the main idea, spotting what the passage doesn't say, or figuring out why the author mentioned something. Every answer is supported by the text, so your job is always to go back and find it. The updated TOEFL exam's reading section is now adaptive, meaning the difficulty adjusts to you. You'll have 50 items to answer across 3 different reading tasks, all within approximately 30 minutes. Because the test is adaptive, the total number of items and the time can vary based on your performance. So the best thing to do on test day is follow the timer on your screen and pace yourself accordingly. Alright, let's walk through the first passage together. We'll keep it on screen for a minute, and if you need more time, just pause the video. This is a detail question, and the answer is A. The passage directly says, people can save energy by turning off lights when they leave a room. It's right there in the first paragraph. Options B and D aren't mentioned anywhere in the passage, and option C is actually the opposite of what the passage recommends. With detail questions, your job is simple. Go back to the text and match. Alright, here's the next question from the same passage, and let's add a bit of time pressure for this one. The correct answer is A. The passage states, when people recycle, they can use old things to make new ones. This helps reduce trash. Options B, C, and D have nothing to do with recycling in this passage. Notice how the wrong answers pull in topics that might sound reasonable on their own, but aren't supported by the text. That's the classic TOEFL exam trap. Always verify against what the passage actually says, not what sounds logical. Now let's step it up with a more challenging passage. You've got 2 questions to work through on your own this time. Read the passage carefully, pick your answers, and drop them in the comments. Pause the video if you need more time. The correct answer is C. This is a big picture question. It's asking about the passage as a whole, not one specific detail. The entire passage discusses what good nutrition looks like, why fitness matters, and how the two work together for overall health. Option A is too narrow. Schools are only mentioned in the final paragraph as part of a debate, not as a main argument. Option B focuses only on junk food, which is just one detail. And option D, losing weight quickly, isn't discussed anywhere in the passage. For big picture questions, ask yourself, what is the author's main point across all paragraphs? That's your answer. Now here's the second question. The correct answer is C. The passage says, exercise also helps regulate weight and reduces the risk of chronic diseases, and that lack of activity combined with poor nutrition can lead to serious health problems over time. So the connection between good nutrition, exercise, and reduced disease risk is clearly stated. Option A is too absolute. The passage mentions enhanced mental well-being, not complete stress avoidance. Option B isn't stated. Good nutrition doesn't prevent people from eating junk food. And option D about school performance isn't mentioned at all. Watch out for answer choices that sound reasonable but go beyond what the passage actually says. Now that you've seen how these questions work, let's see how you do on your own. Go back and reread both passages, and this time try to come up with your own questions. A detail question, a vocabulary question, and an inference question. Then try answering them by going back to the text. This exercise builds the exact skills you'll need on test day. Drop your questions and answers in the comments. We'd love to see what you come up with. Now that you've seen the question types in action, let's talk about how to prepare. Start by reading short academic articles every day, around 200 to 300 words on topics like science, history, or the environment. As you read, get in the habit of identifying the main idea, noticing what each paragraph does, and tracking transition words like however, for instance, and on the other hand. These show up all over the TOEFL test and reveal how the author connects ideas. Practice answering questions without being told which paragraph to look in, since the new format doesn't give you that shortcut anymore. For vocabulary, stop memorizing definitions in isolation and start figuring out word meanings from the sentences around them. That's exactly what the test is asking you to do. And don't sleep on negative statement questions. They take longer because you have to verify every answer choice, so practice them specifically until they feel routine. Study.com's TOEFL test prep course is built with the makers of the test, with strategies tailored to each question type, and their personalized AI tutor zeroes in on your weak spots so every study session actually moves the needle. Before you go, here are a couple of things to take with you. First, always go back to the text. Every answer is supported by something the author actually wrote, so trust the passage over your instincts. Second, know your question types. Detail, big picture, inference, vocabulary, negative statement, and rhetorical purpose each require a slightly different approach, and recognizing them fast saves you time. Third, practice under real conditions. The updated 2026 TOEFL exam is adaptive, so the more familiar the format feels, the more confidently you'll move through it on test day. If this video helped you out, show us some love with a like and subscribe so you don't miss our other TOEFL exam breakdowns covering the rest of the reading section, plus listening, writing, and speaking. Drop your answers to the sample questions in the comments. We want to hear from you. Good luck with your test prep, and we'll see you in the next one.